into success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. And life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. But I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Cause all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind. Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. Being broke is better, like that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Think being broke is better, like that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. For what's money without happiness? Or hard times without the people you love? Though I'm not sure what's about to happen next. I ask for strength from the Lord above, cause I've been strong so far, but I can feel my grip loosening. Quick, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good. And touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons cause they always inviting more. Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt. Cash and minimal checks. Turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely. And as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. Long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tour. But you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love no such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. Love yours.
Yo, welcome back. Oh my god, we back with the it's gonna be an interesting ass show. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is SC Raiders Talk, Eric, whatever you want to call me, man. And we back, you feel me? And over here I got my brother, my partner in crime over here, man, Raider Twuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Hey, what's good? You know what it is. Hey, I was about to say it. Nah, forget it. Hey, we're going to have to say that for next week. But, hey, blessings to everybody out there. We is about to get into some business today. We got something for y'all. So, hey, go ahead and share this out. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe on both channels because we about to give you something that you probably haven't even heard about what's going on with this team. So, get ready for it.
So yes, if you've been living under a rock, the Raiders have lost in week 2, 20-9 to division rivals, the Los Angeles Chargers, where it leads the Chargers to 2-0, leading the division, with the Raiders at 1-1 and 0-1 at home. Of course, a home game where, in my opinion, should have been a win, had a lot of opportunities, but we're going to talk about all those things, right? But before that, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody coming on in. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe if you're new. And welcome. Robert Pena in the building. Daniel Barry, what's good? Good to see everybody up in here, man. I appreciate that, Robert Pena. Salute. And like always, like I said, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new, man. And I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in on a Thursday, man. Of course, sorry for not being here Tuesday. I had no control over my internet. My internet was cooked that whole day. So, but we back. We're gonna talk about all things Raiders, Chargers, and Raiders, Washington Commanders coming up. Shout out to Avikazi Raider in the building. What's good, Avikazi? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. But like I said, how you feeling, Twuan? How you feeling? How you living? What's going on, man?
I'm breathing. I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going. Hey, if the Raiders win or lose, it ain't gonna stop this show over here. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just how I'm taking it, and that's how I hope some other people in Raider Nation is taking this team because get ready.
And of course, like I said, 20-9 was the score line. A tale of, you would say, not even two tails. It's more like one-sided. There was a side of a ball that I think needs to be addressed heavily, and I mean, I can't wait to just talk about it. I mean, let's just get straight into it, right? Obviously, Raiders week 2, we lose, whatever. A little bit of the box score just to give you guys a little bit of the stats gurus, the stats. Justin Herbert went for 19 for 27, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns. He continues his in quotation marks, right? Like everybody's saying, his MVP season, even though it's week 2. Of course, Geno Smith, 180 yards and 3 interceptions. Went 24 for 43 and 3 sacks taken. Then our rushing did 68 yards in total, 19 carries, and Ashton Genty only had 11 carries for 43 yards. His longest run was a 13-yarder. And for the Chargers, their leading rusher was their quarterback, 31 yards for Justin Herbert. So that should show you everything you need to know. You feel me? But we're gonna talk about all these things right now. And shout out to Javier. See, why are they playing musical chairs? Put JPJ at center and Alex Kappa out of here. Shout out to Nas. This Raiders, you feel me? I'm so pissed off. I feel that, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was a game where it literally proved my point for last week. It literally proved my point about last week. Where I talked about this offensive line, and as much as I know a lot of people don't want to rotate and stuff like that, it was something that I said should have happened, regardless of anything should happen. And I know a lot of people disagreed with that and was like, Eric, you're crazy, whatever the case. But am I crazy based on what happened against the Chargers? The center couldn't hike the ball to save his life. I mean, I'd never seen somebody hike the ball worse. Like Jordan Merritt needs to take his ass either out of the offensive line or on the guard position and put JPJ back on center. But like I said, the defense did its job again. They only let me look at my statistics here. They only allowed 3 points in the second half once again. And pretty much Jonah Lulu, right? Lulu.
Let me clarify for everybody, because everybody is saying it 20 different times. It's La
Lu. Oh, La Lulu. Okay.
La Ulu.
Yeah, that boy is a monster. I mean, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for losses, 3 quarterback. He leads the team in sacks. He has a 17.6% QB pressure rate. He has a 10% defensive stop rate, which is the team's best, by the way. Those 2 statistics there is the team's best. Plus, let me give some praise to the same guy that I gave praise to the first week, Blue Kelly, man. What a cornerback that boy is being. I ain't gonna lie. 33 coverage snaps, 39.6 passer rating allowed, 25% tight window percentage, and a pass deflection, and tied team lead with 2 of them. Man, let's start with the positive. Like I just talked about the defense side of the ball, man. Twuan, how did you feel about our defense, man? How you feeling about our defense? And just talk to me a little bit about the defense side of the ball in this game, man.
This week, hey, our I'm gonna say it, well, the past 2 weeks, but specifically this week, this defense has held us together pretty much. You look at, there's a whole bunch of factors that you can look at in regards to what I'm about to say. If you look at how the Chargers were able to score only 20 points, That's for a normal team. If their offense was normally normally functioning, that's a win. You know what I'm saying? And to have, I say, 1 legit touchdown and then a blown coverage on, you know what I'm saying, defensively. And also, I'll say this too. How many points did they score in the second half?
Actually, I think 3, only 3. They only had a field goal. Yeah, that's it. Same thing as week 1. Week 1, they only had 3 points in the second half.
So that means that's telling you that there's obviously the coaching staff is making adjustments. So they seen, okay, in the first half, hey, we got hit in the mouth. What are we going to do from here? You know what I'm saying? What are we going to do from here? And they had a game plan. And that game plan, if you're telling me they came out in the second half and the game plan was, hey, They only scored 3 points in the entire half. That's a success. Now, on the other side of the ball, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's a whole nother issue we got to talk about. But defensively, they have been surprisingly holding things together. I've been saying about this defensive line is that we would be able to get by is if, you know, if they rotated these guys and put them in the right pieces for them to be successful. And we're seeing that.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that we're seeing a whole lot of, you know, everybody's like, we want sacks. And yes, that is a part of the game, but the pressure that they're putting on these quarterbacks is helping out our defense. Our secondary corner wise is still but the team wise, defensively, they're holding it together.
Yeah, which is surprising to me because they. I thought it was going to be one of the weakest point in the whole team, on both sides of the ball, but they're looking damn good. I mean, they're looking better than what I expected. And you got to give it to people like Stokes and Kelly that are just stepping up constantly. But that has a lot to do with the defensive pressure that we're gaining. Like I said, as long as you have a defensive line that's getting to the quarterback, or at least attempting to get to the quarterback, your cornerback should be having their jobs a lot easier, and it makes them better. I sound like a broken record when I talk about these things, but I keep trying to tell people that if you go look at the Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl and Tom Brady first went over there, their blueprint was get to the quarterback, and they won. They made Patrick Mahomes run for his life, and even the greatest of quarterbacks could look like the worst. Of course, shout out to Anthony Estrada, man. Yo, what's going on? Got caught one when you came back, man. Hey, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you coming on by. Of course, hit that like button, subscribe. For anybody else that comes across this and is new, you feel me, for more daily Raiders content. I want to say daily, but for more Raiders content on a semi-consistent basis for me. Of course, you got to give it up to some of these linebackers, man. This linebacking group looking damn good. And I mean, Devin White, man, what a dog, right? I seen somebody in the chat say it right here. I think Nas said it right here. He's a dog. Oh, no. Javier said it. How about Devin White? He's a dog. He's a dog, bro. He's a dog. Jermaine Pratt, Jeremy Chin did his thing. Isaiah Palamau, always all over the ball. You got to give it to him as well. And for a team like the Chargers, where their offense consists of a lot of weapons everywhere from McConkey to Najee Harris. Come on, say what you want to say about Najee Harris, but he's had 1,000+ yards back-to-back seasons. Omarion Hampton, another first-round pick that has a lot of praise. And then obviously you have the weapons, Keenan Allen, Lamb McConkey, Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson has stepped up. Keenan Allen's a veteran. And on top of that, Lamb McConkey looking like a goddamn gem that they got right there. So for them to have all that and only score 20 points with our quarterback throwing 3 interceptions, turning over the ball 3 times, that shows you a lot about the defense. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and just praise this team when we lost the game. And I know a lot of people are like, why are you praising the team? At the end of the day, you gotta look at the reality of things. And the reality of things is that this defense is a goddamn defense, and this offense is shit. And this leads me to the other side of the ball. The interesting side of the ball. Geno Smith, man. Let's talk about Geno Smith real quick. Let me give you guys a little bit, let me boil y'all blood a little bit. You feel me? Like my blood is boiling looking at this, man. And Twuan, let me know if your blood boils over this, what I'm about to read to you, man. He had 0 completions in 12 passes for 10+ yards downfield. He had 3 interceptions in those attempts. He's the first quarterback since 2016 with 10+ deep attempts with 0 completions. And on top of that, they didn't make his life easier. The center that we had couldn't hike the ball to save his life. And on top of that, Ashton Genty had 11 carries. So, Twuan, let me know how you feel about Geno Smith. Do you think it was just something that he got the nerves, or it was the whole collective offense that was messing him up, or you just think Geno Smith stunk it up? Be honest, man. Go ahead, talk your shit, man.
It's everything. It is completely everything. From the offensive line that obviously can't block. There was one play that Dylan Parham didn't even touch the guy that was in front of him. wide receivers, balls in the air. Wide receiver 101, for everybody that don't know what wide receiver 101 is when the ball's in the air, if I don't get it, nobody gets it. That didn't happen. So that and then Gino out there playing beginner Madden. You know how when you first play it, for those that have been playing Madden for a while, you've been schematically and you know the game. But for the beginner, is one read and then the deep pass. That's literally what it looked like Gino did. There's nothing there. Oh, Dante Thornton's gonna get it. And where has we seen in film that Dante Thornton is all of a sudden the master of the jump ball? I'll wait.
He was double team all game. Okay.
Double team all game. And then just even with Dante Thornton, people don't realize with Dante Thornton, yes, he's 6'5". Oh, yes, he's 6'5". That's awesome. Okay? But he does not, he's not at the point where he's mastered the jump ball, what they call mossing people, where the cornerback is right under you and you're catching it over his head. That's mossing somebody. Now, if you asking for Dante Thornton to beat somebody down the field, okay, yeah, he can beat. He has the speed to beat somebody and have 3 or 4 yards of gap sauce. You know what I'm saying? In between them. But he's not one of those guys where the ball, if there's a contested ball, he's coming down with it. He has not proven that. Nor have we seen that in college tape. So why are we forcing it to Thornton when he does not even have that on his tool belt? So there's a whole lot of things in regards to just I really hope that this was the and somebody gonna say pause, and you just get your pauses ready. But I hope that Gino just completely blew his load, full load, this game.
Yeah,
because we can't have that.
Yeah,
we're not in a place, and this is where people hated on the other quarterback, number 4, when he threw 1 interception, and we were like, "Oh shit, here we go." We're not in a place where we can turn the ball over and we're gonna bounce back. We're not in a place where we can fumble the ball and bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
We have to execute from the top to the bottom. And unfortunately, our offensive line ain't it. And I've been saying that since the beginning. And I'm really hoping, I wish I could get close to Pete Carroll and have this conversation with him. Because I would ask him, the definition of insanity is to do something over and over and over again and expect for the same result. To have the same things and expect a different result. So what did you expect when everybody on that offensive line was the same guys that was last year statistically horrible in the run game? They were all of a sudden going to be a good offensive line? And then you try to put a Band-Aid on it saying, "Oh, we brought in Kappa." And where did Kappa fall in regards to the competition? He didn't become a starter. He's a backup. So what did we really do to this offensive line? So I'm actually, excuse me, but I'm getting really, I'm getting this nepotism. I'm gonna say it again. Nepotism of Brandon Carroll being our offensive line coach. And our offensive line stinks. Oh, and what else stinks? Our run game. Who's the run game coordinator? Who wants to win the $1 million? The same guy. So what are we doing? What are we really doing? Gino, I feel bad for Gino. I felt bad for. I watched the massacre again before I came on live. I feel bad for Gino, but also at the same time, it was his. He shouldn't have threw it up like that. Because when I looked at the tape and looked at the all 22, there was some players underneath some of those deep passes that we could have kept moving the chains, but he decided to go for it all.
He overthrew and underthrew a lot of people. I mean, it just looked bad in general. And shout out to Milka Beezy. What's good, Milka Beezy? Everything just went wrong with the offense side of the ball. Everywhere from the center to the quarterback to the run game. And this is where you start to question moving forward how much potential this offense has. At the end of the day, it's one game, right? People are gonna say one game at the end of the day, but it was an important game. It was an important game in a division where you cannot lose to your division rivals at all. Knowing what they're all capable of, every single one. Right now the Chiefs are 0-2, and everybody's looking at it like, oh my God, this is not gonna be the Chiefs here. The thing is with the Chiefs, man, they're a team that easily pick it up in the second half. They're just sitting there like laughing at everybody. And at the end of the day, the Chargers are 2-0 right now. They lost Khalil Mack and stuff and still ended up pulling off the win. Why? Because our offense couldn't do nothing. We gave our offense a lot of chances to score the ball, and we couldn't score just one touchdown. For F's sake, 20 points were thrown at us from the Chargers, from an offense that statistically in week 1, and not only that, torched pretty much the Chiefs, kind of showed out against the Chiefs a little bit. Justin Herbert had a field day against the Chiefs, and for him to come over here and still have a decent game, right? 242 yards, 2 touchdowns. But besides that, it's a game where they should have won by like at least 40 points. The amount of times we gave him the ball. And Geno Smith, 3 interceptions is crazy to me. It was almost 4, to be honest. I thought it was 4. But Geno Smith, the thing is with Geno Smith is that I always knew what type of quarterback he was, but I always knew that he was an upgrade above the ones from last year. But he didn't show it against the Chargers. He showed that he was exactly on the same level. And it sucks to say that because I know Geno Smith is way better than what the hell we had. But the way he played against the Chargers, he was on the same level. And hopefully he bounces back. And like Twuan said, hopefully, pause. He did what he did and he moves on from it. Because we have a matchup against a team that's really good, but they're having their own quarterback situation with injuries, and we'll talk about that right now.
We lost an opportunity because I you guys know I wear the Raider hat every day, but I got to be real. I got to be honest with you. The Chargers is a playoff team. And we had an opportunity to beat a playoff team. And in the implications later on down the line, when we're looking at things in week 15 and week 16, we're going to look back at this game and say, dang. Because when those brackets start getting closer and figuring things out, they're going to be like, hey, we should have beat the Chargers there. And now we have another opportunity, you know what I'm saying? And I know we're going to talk about that a little later on in the live, but we got another opportunity to beat another playoff team in the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
In a vulnerable state. I'll say it like that. Mm-hmm. So we have to take advantage of these opportunities when they come up, because we can't afford to just blow games at all. You know what I'm saying? We're not in a place where we can blow games and still be okay. Mm-hmm. And overall, not just offensively, because we're talking about Geno Smith, you have to look at, because the Chargers are a playoff caliber team, you have to ask yourself, are we a playoff caliber team based off the way we played? Players missing assignments, players missing blocks, a quarterback that obviously seems like he gets flustered and spams the Dante Thornton button. Is that playoff caliber?
I'm not bueno. Kevin Lurker was good. ASAP was good. Good to see you, man. But no, to answer that, we're not right now. That game was unacceptable, and I don't care what anybody says. They're like, oh, probably overreacting and stuff like that. But I'm gonna just keep it real. At the end of the day, it was a pathetic performance by the offense, and they need to get it together. And even after the media, they said Ashton Genty said it himself. This kind of leads me to the next thing, but Genty only had 11 carries, and I get it. The offensive line is not that good either. But to only have 11 carries for your first round pick is crazy to me. When your quarterback ain't doing nothing himself, and the center keeps hiking the ball like it's like no tomorrow. So obviously Ashton Genty had 11 carries for 43 yards in the post game. I think it was an interview or something. He said that you do not. He practically said what I said. You don't draft somebody in the first round and give him that many carries. He wants more carries. He keeps saying he wants more carries. Twuan, talk to me a little bit about Ashton Genty. You think he should get more snaps, or just the game went south so they just went away from him and you were cool with that, or you think Genty should get more snaps?
Here I go losing subscribers. Ask that question again.
Should Ashton Genty get more snaps?
No. Here's why. Because again, like I said, I'm about to lose subscribers because everybody is so on the Genty bus. And hey, you're a fan. That's awesome. The way this offense is ran, Geno has control at the line to go in and out of plays. In most cases, the offensive coordinator always gives a run play, and he also gives a pass play based on what, and then the quarterback sees what he sees and says, okay, it's a good run. We're good. That's why you hear Geno say, we're good. Okay? That's because he says, hey, we're good. Let's run our play. Right? In the situation where we want to run, but it's not a favorable line, and we know our offensive line is not getting that much of a push, that even when everybody knows we need to run, we can't do that. Right? So if Geno audibles out into a pass play, that turns Genty not into a runner, but what does he turn into? A blocker. And guess what? Genty's not good at blocking. Genty has an issue with picking up blitzes at the running back spot. Everybody was mad that Zamir White was out there and Genty wasn't getting snaps. The reason why he wasn't getting snaps was because when they were blitzing, Genty was not picking it up. So they had to get somebody out there that could be a blocker if they decided to pass the ball. So even in this game, let's just look at this game alone. Genty's not picking up the blocks, and even when his number's called, he's forgetting to play. Are you still keeping him in as a coach? Or are you going to have him sit the bench for a little bit? If not, for some coaches, hey, you blow an assignment, you out. We'll wait next week. So at this point, as much as I love to see Genty run the ball, because Genty is a talented runner of the ball, but he becomes a liability when he's on the field. Because if, like I said, if Geno decides to go to audible into a pass, now you got a non-blocking running back while Geno's still trying to have this bad offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Bad offensive line, bad running back blocker. What is that going to do for your even passing game? We're going to see what we saw last week. So Genty has to learn the blocking before he can really get into getting a whole bunch of snaps. And that's where it's at. And the sad thing about it is wait until the NFL keys in on that. That we're taking Genty out when we want to pass the ball. What does that do for the opposing defense? That prepares them, oh, it's a pass. When they take Genty out. Oh, Genty's in. Oh, they're definitely running it. Let's go ahead and put 8 in the box. Or let's not put 8 in the box and disguise it, but we're going to crash down. We're going to sell out as soon as he says hike. That does not help our offense. So, as much as we like Genty, and again, I believe Genty is a talented running back, but there's certain things, there's certain levels, there's certain things he has to get to be that all-down running back for us. And as a rookie, he doesn't have that. Everybody's so enamored with Genty in college. And the reason why everybody was so enamored with Genty in college was because, guess what? Boise State had a really good offensive line. So they could run it, you know what I'm saying? And everybody knew they were going to run it, and they still were getting stuff done. But we don't have that. So that's why Genty's not getting the snaps. And that's what they're not trying to tell you without telling you. As to why they're not seeing Zamir White out there and Dylan Laube out there. The reason why you're seeing Zamir White and Dylan Laube out there is because they can pass pro. So until Genty can block, you know, that he's gonna get the numbers he's gonna get. Or until his offensive line improves, where there was a time where our offensive line, everybody knew we were going to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? And we ran the ball and they got it done, but we ain't that right now. So I'm that's it, you guys.
I ain't gonna lie, for me, I'm on the other side. I think he does need more snaps. I think we've seen that Geno Smith can't get it done. I mean, as far as throwing it 42 times, and he just couldn't do nothing. I mean, even at times where he had the pocket not collapse on him, he overthrew underthrew receivers, and I don't know what was happening with him. He looked dead on the bench, and our center couldn't even throw hike the ball to save his life. So for me, I'm kind of on the other train. I think that I will kind of throw another name in there that I think does need burn. And I don't know if he was on the injury report for the Charger game and that's why he wasn't there, or he was there and wasn't utilized. And I think that this back could be way better than Zamir White. What's the point of having Raheem Mostert on the roster? I don't know if he was injured for that game or whatever the case may be, but even in week 1 when he was there, he hardly got utilized himself. Raheem Mostert, do we forget he's a 2,000-yard back, 15 touchdown a season, a couple seasons ago. He may not be that, but we know what he could service, and he's a veteran, and he's a guy that could, help with the block, also receive. I mean, I don't get why we're not utilizing a veteran like that. It kind of makes me kind of question things. And even then, this offensive line, give it help, switch it up. If your offensive line can't block 2 tight end set, do something, switch something around, do something to help. Like, nothing was helping. You kept trying to utilize a guy. in pass blocking that can't pass block right now. And that doesn't mean he won't be pass blocked. That just means he's trying to learn. You could tell he's learning. And at the end of the day, you know, when you're realistic about Ashton Genty, he's a rookie. And at the end of the day, it's not an excuse I'm giving, but I'm saying the guy has to learn. When you're utilizing plays like that and you see your offensive line collapsing, you do everything you can to help that offensive line. And I mean, utilize your tight ends, utilize other backs, do whatever you can to help out that offensive line, switch things around, switch your center around that can't hike the ball right. I mean, do whatever you need to do to at least switch it up, because you knew it wasn't working already. And instead of switching it up, you kept going down the same road. So that all has to do with the adjustments on the offensive side of the ball. Now, would that be Chip Kelly? Would that be Pete Carroll? Would that be, I mean, there could be a lot of people that was involved with that. And it kind of leads me to the next thing, right? Somebody was in the booth, in the box. Go ahead.
Real quick, everybody in the chat, because I know, Eric, I know you have the answer, but I'm gonna test the IQ of everybody in the chat, because somebody tried to come at me in the chat, and they don't know that I study football. Put a 1 in the chat if part of the running back's responsibility is to block. And for that person that doesn't believe that a running back can block, I need you to go Google what a chip block is in football. But put a 1 in the chat if you think running backs are supposed to block, and if you don't, put a 2. Let's do that, because I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Go ahead, Eric.
We have shout out to SoCal South. What's good, Raider Paul? I don't know if I saluted. Shout out to Raider Paul. What's good, SoCal South? Good to see you, man. Hope all's on. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody that came on in. I'm not bueno. I'm not sure if I saluted you, but salute. Hit that like button, like and subscribe if you're new. Kevin Lurker, not sure if I saluted you, but salute. Good to see everybody coming on here. But it goes back to kind of the offense and it not working, and you need to switch, and now it has to do with adjustments. The offensive line looked atrocious. The quarterback looked atrocious. The running backs weren't doing their job. It was just an all-around shit show for the offensive side of the ball. Hopefully, it's just one of those games where, hey, it was that early game where it was like, okay, slap in the face. We're not as good as we thought we were week 1. Let's go back to the drawing book and let's come back week 3 and bounce back. I'm hoping it's that, right? We can only hope. It's week 3, you know. Let's not all panic either. But you know, it kind of leads me to this, and I'm gonna let you take it away with this this topic right here in Brady coaching box. Just to add something before you start talking about it. I believe Brady has been banned from going to practices, if I'm not mistaken. I seen some article, I seen some things that apparently he's not allowed to be at the facilities and stuff like that because he's a commentator or whatever. He's signed with them. So that means we're not going to see too much of what we're about to talk about no more. But, Twuan, let me know, how did you feel about Brady being up there? I mean, every time they pointed the camera towards him, he wasn't really speaking. He was just there, like, laid back like this, just looking. What did you feel about that? And do you think he had any say, or he was just there for the show?
No, he's doing his job. And this is where people, you know, he's walking the line, because, you know, obviously he's a commentator and there's rules and regulations that he has, you know, as to that. And I think he's allowed to have like the little Zoom meetings that they have, like the pregame stuff, you know, to prepare him for his commentary. But, you know, him having the headset, that's his job. He came in as a minority owner. But along with that minority ownership, this is out of our owner's mouth, was that he was going to lean on Tom Brady for football decisions. So what goes on in those headphones? Football decisions. He needs to hear the plays that are going on so that he can have an assessment on if these guys, coaching staff and whatever, you know what I'm saying, are doing their job. You know, and obviously, they're everybody, Tom Brady's a polarizing figure, so obviously the camera was going to stay on him, in regards to that. But he's not the only owner or minority owner, I'll just say owner, but he's not the only owner that wears a headset during the game. The owner at the Indianapolis Colts, the woman owner, the Irsay, I think it's Irsay's daughter or whatever, she has headphones. She's listening to the plays. So she's doing her job. And that's the same thing Tom Brady's doing. Now, everybody wants to speculate as to Tom Brady, telling Chip Kelly what to do because he was sitting next to him or whatever. I don't think that's the case, because if Tom Brady was telling Chip Kelly what to do, we would have won the game. So that debunks that debunks the situation there. But how is Tom Brady supposed to assess what's going on in regards to football decisions if he's not listening to what's going on? So he had the opportunity, because again, we know Tom Brady's not going to always be there, but he had the opportunity to sit in and hear, hey, what's the communication? Because Tom Brady knows the communication is key to the success on the field. So he might be like, hey, Chip, we need to try to do this, or hey, we need to try to communicate this differently to make this a better situation. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
So, people want to blow it up. People want to make it all polarizing, but that he's doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
And he has signed off that, the organization that does the commentating and the Raiders organization and the NFL, all the teams in the NFL approve that he's able to do what he's doing. So let it be.
Mm-hmm. And, you said it all for that. I don't got much to say about it. But this goes on to what's coming up Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11/12, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me get this out real quick, the injury report. The Washington Commanders, Raiders, 10 a.m. game, East Coast trip. Shout out to Alfredo in the building. What's good, Alfredo? Let me get this injury report out real quick. So, of course, Brock Bowers with his knee, limited participation. Jeremy Chin with his pectoral, limited participation. Jackson Powers Johnson with his concussion, limited participation. For the Washington Commanders, limited for Trey Amos, John Bates, Noel Brown, both did not participate. But I'm going to go to the most key ones. Laramie Tunsil, their offensive tackle, did not participate. Rest. Von Miller, which I didn't even know he was still in the league. don't. I didn't think he was on the league no more. Was resting, did not participate, so he'll be good. Zach Ertz also rested. But the main focal point right now and the talk of the town, Jaden Daniels with his knee did not participate again. And they don't have the Thursday injury report here. They only have the Wednesday one. But when I tell you also I seen today on Thursday that he did not participate again, that's a key thing to them. Jaden Daniels did not participate. And it's looking more and more likely. Like I said, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Saturday, for all we know, he could come back and just be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready. Oh, yeah, look at my knee is great. Or it could keep going down this path where he does not participate, which only leads to one thing, which their backup quarterback, I believe, is Marcus Mariota. And we are very familiar with Marcus Mariota, aren't we? Marcus Mariota might be their starting quarterback when it comes to Sunday, followed by their running back group that is not that good. Austin Eckler went to the IR, which was their main back, and he's gone. Now their starting running back is Krosky Merritt. And then their wide receivers are pretty damn good, in my opinion. I think Deebo Samuel's looking good. Terry McLaurin's Terry McLaurin. I've always had, that was one of the players that I've always had respect for outside of the Raiders. They have Noah Brown, and then Zach Ertz, John Bates, and then their offensive line is okay. Their defensive line was where they shine. You have people like Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, Javon Kinlaw, Deron Payne, Trey Amos, Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, they have themselves a defense, and they're 1-1 as well, same as us. We're 1-1. They beat the Giants. They lost to Green Bay, which Green Bay is looking like a playoff, a real playoff team, a real talk of the town. They looking good. I ain't gonna lie. The whole Michael Parsons and Jordan Love looking better. I don't want to speak on Green Bay, but they looking good. They lost to Green Bay, so I don't even, they lost to a really good team. And then the Giants, 21-6. I mean, you can say what you want about the Giants. They got a little bit better, but they also lost to the Washington Commanders. Now they play us on a 10 a.m. game. We don't do good on 10 a.m. games, but we did it against New England. But our offense looks shaky. It looks a lot shaky.
Yeah.
But like I said, even with Washington having a decent defense, they pretty much got torched by Green Bay. And Green Bay, you could say that Green Bay has a better offense than us. Talking about Josh Jacobs, obviously Romeo Doubs, Tucker Kraft, Jordan Love, having 292 yards, 2 touchdowns on the Washington Commanders. But one thing for sure, their tight end showed out with 124 yards, which this leads me to one of my hot takes. Say what you want to say. I'm gonna do a hot take earlier. Brock Bowers with 120 plus yards and 2 touchdowns for him, and that is my hot take right there for the thing. Because if you are a coach, you will learn from the team that has already beat them, a playoff team. And how did they beat the Washington Commanders? They beat them with their tight end. Their tight end is the only player on their team that had 50 plus yards, and he had 124 and a touchdown, and 57 being his longest. Now, who is better than Tucker Kraft? I don't know. Maybe, arguably, a top 3 tight end in the league in Brock Bowers. Now, who's going to be the quarterback throwing the ball to him? Geno Smith. And I know Geno Smith had a horrible game. But if there's one game you bounce back from and you say, hey, y'all, I learned, I live. This is my chance to bounce back. It's against the Washington Commanders. Because not only is the Washington Commanders pretty bad against the pass, specifically the tight end position, but this is your chance to bounce back in general, especially with Jaden Daniels not being there. Now, I'm not going to discredit Marcus Mariota, because something about Marcus Mariota, every time he comes back from, it's something about him that he's one of those quarterbacks that he'll sit on the bench, and then once he gets that first start, he looks really good, and then he starts shitting the bed from there. So I'm not going to count Marcus Mariota out, especially with having people like Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuels, and Zach Ertz. But I will say that this is a game that this offense needs to bounce back. I have no shame in my game saying that the defense side of the ball as well, and that they will take care of business. This offense is what scares me. So, Twuan, talk to me about this game. What you feel about this game? What do you feel about Jaden Daniels as well? And talk to me a little bit about this whole thing, man.
So everybody that's resting, don't consider that an injury. That's veteran rest. And most of the time that, during the season, they usually give that Wednesday, they usually give that first day of practice, rest for their vets. And that's why you seen Ertz out. That's why you seen, who's the other guy? The defensive end, Von Miller out. All their vets, they give them rest on Wednesday. So, they'll be ready. Now, in regards to Mariota, you have to understand what Mariota likes, right? And the benefit is that every week that we played is similar to quarterback style, is similar to Mariota. Okay, not saying that Mariota has the same arm as those guys, not saying that Mariota, is equal to those guys, but if you break down what type of quarterback, the guys that can move, can get out the pocket, and if you playing man and your back is turned to them, they might try to run down the field on you. That's Mariota. So game plan wise, they should be able to keep the same kind of, you know what I'm saying, similar to what they did with Herbert. The difference is, I'll say this, is Mariota likes tight ends. And he likes throwing it down the middle of, you know what I'm saying, in the middle. He doesn't like the outside of the numbers. He likes inside of the numbers. So if you can play inside out, you know what I'm saying, like that, then you might be able to lock down, you know what I'm saying, Mariota, even in the passing game. So there might be a case where he and Ertz have a good, you know what I'm saying, good run. If Ertz is beating us, then, then obviously we're allowing Mariota what he really likes to do, is throw the pass down the field to his tight end. But this is another game where we should be able to jump on them and get the job done. I think defensively, for us, again, we know, keep the same. I would just say almost similar to what we did with Herbert. If we do that and our offense acts like they want to get somewhat act right, then we'll be good. The running game for them, they run downhill. How does that benefit for us? Our linebackers, all of our linebackers, are good at coming downhill. So, that's the benefit to us if only we execute. So this is a game we should be able to win. I was considered, early in predictions, thinking that Jaden Daniels was going to be out. Jaden Daniels was going to play. I was like, hey, we're going to take the L. But I think this is a winnable game for us. Jaden Daniels, I think in his situation, they said they were going to wait until Friday to really assess where he's at and give that designation if he's going to play or not. But I think for the sake of them, because he is that franchise guy, and I'm not just saying this as a Raider fan, I'm just saying this as just NFL fan. I think you need to let him at least sit out another week. Because that's your franchise guy. You don't want to run him into the ground. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it's just ironic that he goes to the same team that ran another good quarterback into the ground in the names of RG3. You know what I'm saying? The same organization that he was out there hurt, and they was like, get out there, son, get out there, son. And when he should have been sitting. But I hope they really, because again, with Jaden Daniels, he's not the shape, the sculpted statue. You know what I'm saying? We know Jaden Daniels was frail to begin with. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things coming out of the draft. Hey, Jaden Daniels is small. So if he's hurt, don't risk it even further. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Raider and we're playing them this week, but for the sake of their team, I would definitely at least send them another week just to make sure everything's good, because that knee, you know what I'm saying, is not something to play with. And I think that was the knee that he hurt last year. So a re-injury to that same area, I think you need to be more cautious than not with him. So Mariota, I'm leaning more towards Mariota in preparation for Mariota. I know that they're, the coaching staff said they're preparing for both of them, but in regards to Mariota, lock down that tight end, guard the middle, come downhill on the run, and we should be able to come out with a dub.
It's time to execute, man. It's time to bounce back. This is the game to do it. You need to do it, and you have to do it. Geno Smith leads the league in interceptions, I believe. He has a touchdown and 4 interceptions. He needs to bounce back heavily I'm expecting a big game from him, and if he doesn't do it again, then I don't want to say questions because it's too early. I'll say concern.
Concerned about what? I'm sorry.
Like I was talking about Geno Smith. I was like, if another bad game happens again, and it's a lot to do with the whole team, like the offensive line stuff like that, there has to be at least some concern. I want to say questions, but concern. Maybe that's the same thing, right? But this is the game to bounce back. They need to do it. I'm expecting them to do it. They better do it. We're 1-0 away in 10 a.m. games. Obviously, we went to New England in Foxborough. Now we're going to Washington. This is the game for Ashton Genty as well to, at least get going, at least a little bit. Overall bounce back game. This is what if somebody told me, well, how would you describe this game? Bounce back game, and it needs to happen. For me, I don't have predictions, as far as score line, scores. I gave you my hot take already. Shouts to all eyes on G was good. SoCal Sal was good. Alfredo, everybody coming on in, and I appreciate y'all Jay twice. But I don't have no predictions for that. I gave you my hot take with Brock Bowers. I gave you who needs to do something. Keys to the game, I'm going to give you 3. 1, defense, keep balling out. No matter who's at quarterback, keep balling out. Number 2, Geno Smith, make the right reads. And number 3, offensive line, finally get it together. Get it together. Get on the same page. Jordan Meredith, if we're going to keep putting you at that center position, learn how to hike the ball. It is simple basics of a center. Hike the ball. I'm not telling you to telepathically tell the aliens to come down from Earth. I'm telling you to hike the ball correctly. Because Geno Smith is already having a bad game. You think you hiking the ball like that is going to help him even better? No, it's going to make shit worse.
And that's why I'm like, as much as so for those 8 people that watch What You Do on Wednesdays, because obviously you guys don't want to watch that. But I feel bad for Geno. Like, he's starting off with a bad snap. That offensive line ain't holding up. The running back act like I need to get more snaps, but I can't block. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then you're asking for him to march us down the field. So, last week, and I'm gonna bring it to now. Last week was out of Geno's character. I think most people can say that was just way out of Geno's character of how he's played. So if he does that again, then it's not just, what I'm saying? Yeah. It is, there's something else. It ain't just Geno.
Mm-hmm. But overall, I expect us to win. No matter who's at quarterback. I think a bounce back game. Do your job. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Do your job. But any comments on the game? Any predictions you got? Hot takes, maybe? Anything? Keys, maybe?
Trying to think. Hot take?
Mm-hmm.
Geno throws no interceptions.
Okay, there's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Because most of the time Geno is good for, like, when people ask me what I thought about Geno, like when we got him, I was like, hey, Geno's good for 1 interception, but he'll be good the rest of the game. He gonna he gonna give at least 1 away, but everything else is gonna be good. And I'll say that he cleans it up.
This guy, like I said, me watching Tua throw a pick. Damn, this guy sucks. And Geno done throw 3. He was just winging it like far. Geno was flustered by the second half. Yeah, 100%. And when everything else is not helping you, it's kind of hard to bounce back yourself. And you could tell he was already just decimated by on the bench. But like I said, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is the game. 1 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully we could just win, get back on the win column, go 2-1. Bounce back game for these guys. Geno Smith, come on, Ashton Genty, everybody else, man. Offensive line, get it together. Chip Kelly, call better plays. I don't know what or not call better plays. I'm going to say this. Call better adjustments. I'm gonna say that because you didn't adjust to I didn't see no adjustments. I mean,
there's certain plays that I haven't even seen, and I know it's only week 2. There's certain plays that I haven't seen yet that haven't came out yet. So I don't even know if some of those things are even in his playbook. I don't, we're just gonna have to see, because there's even passing wise, there's certain routes that I'm like, we could have used that right now and against this cover 2. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we'll see.
Kenny, I'm gonna give it one more week, but if you see my live from last week, I literally said put JPJ at center, and people disagreed with me. A lot of people disagree with me, actually. So if you go back to a week ago, like I said, the proof's there. You could just skim through it. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But I literally said this last week, and you see why. You see exactly why. But at the end of the day, one game, whatever's. We're going to see what happens against the Washington Commanders on Sunday. Bounce back game, like I said. Already gave my hot take of Brock Bowers. And if you're just joining us, my hot take was because Tucker Kraft went for 124 yards on them. I said 150. What did I say? I said...
I think you said 110.
I think I said 110. I said 100 plus yards. 2 touchdowns, I believe I said something like that. But yeah, did you talk about Palomar already? Palomar's doing his thing, man. Like he keeps, you feel me, proving me right. So
and let me help Palomar. That play, that blown coverage play, he was playing cover 1, and the communication between him and Caillou wasn't clear. And he had to bail out of where he was at to try to save what Caillou was supposed to kind of, you know what I'm saying? So it was a miscommunication on their end. Of course, Palomar, I think in that play, Palomar could have been back a little more, because you don't want nobody to be, you know what I'm saying, get behind you. And that's kind of what ended up happening. But yeah, Palomar's been, surprisingly
good,
more solid than I expected. So, and they got to figure it out. They got to figure it out.
With Palomar, I said this before, and I'll say it again. And like I said, the proof is all on the YouTube. I literally said, if you put Isaiah Palomar by himself in the backfield, it's not always going to be something good. I continue to say it, and I'm going to continue to say that. And that's exactly what keeps happening with him. Use him right, and he will do you right. That's what is happening. Having him as a single high safety on a cover, he's not going to do nothing with that.
But it's a bad situation too, Eric, because you pick and choose, right? I'm going to tell you right now. Would you rather have Chin in the box?
That's
or
the
would
thing
you have
too,
Palomar in the box?
I think here's the thing, right? What cost us a little bit, and I'm going to say this, right? Obviously, we didn't get to see him play in the silver and black yet, which sucks. Healthy recovery. But Lonnie Johnson.
Yeah.
If we had Lonnie Johnson, it would be a little bit of a different thing.
He might be back by week 4.
I hope so. Because I think he could really, give something, contribute something. So, obviously, like I said, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, Washington Raiders. Bounce back game for the Raiders, hopefully. Washington is trying to get back to the win column, too. 2 teams with higher expectations than what they've been doing. So, obviously, for me, like I said, I'll let Twuan, let them know where they could find you. Let them know any upcoming shows. All those things. Let them know, man. Talk to them.
I'm just on these subscribers, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to Raider Twuan.
Subscribe.
You know what I'm saying? I am 17 away.
17 away.
17 away from the first big goal, you know what I'm saying, in YouTube. So if you can do a Raider solid, you know what I'm saying, you may not like me, but if you like the Raiders, go ahead and just subscribe. And I'll tell you this, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't want to watch me, that's fine, but just support that I'm up here, you know what I'm saying, multiple days a week, trying to give you something about your team.
Yep. And for me, SC Raiders Talk, man. I'll be back again Tuesday. Hopefully I don't skip this time. Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. But if I don't, I'll make sure to drop something because I don't want to leave anybody empty-handed. But we'll for sure be back Thursday if anything. Obviously go check out my Instagram for updates, all those things. Instagram is the best way. Everything's in the description down below, and if you want to get into podcasting, man, hey, down there below there's a referral link. Go to StreamYard. Yep. Anyways, plug there.
What's going on next Tuesday,
man? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna say too much. You feel me? I want to keep it a secret a little bit. You feel me? I want them to. You feel me? See it on YouTube. You feel me? When it pops up right there in the bright lights right there, and hopefully it goes down. But if worst case scenario, it doesn't go down Tuesday, it will happen Thursday. But y'all already know, man. When you see me and Twuan on the screen again, it's gonna be a show that a lot of people may know, man. That's all I'm gonna say. You put 2 and 2 together, man. But on that note, y'all, this was the SC Raiders Talk, man. Twuan Raider Twuan in the building, man. We appreciate you guys, man, for coming on in. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Also, life is too short, so always tell your loved ones you love them, man. A tough time never lasts, but tough people doing the tough people, man. And once again, man, like always, let me just show this.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah. As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders.
Play it twice real quick. Had to play it twice real quick. How did you make your thumbnails? Canva. On that note, y'all, I'll see you guys, man. We'll see you guys, man. And let's go Raiders, man. Just win, baby. And let's get back on the win column, man. We are out of here. Have a great day. Blessings upon blessings, man.
It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. And life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. But I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Cause all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind. Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. Bad news